comic book fans, and welcome to suddenlycomics.com. And we have it's a Monday night, it's the price variance, and as usual, Alan has been digging around at Heritage looking at hang on a minute.
I
Right.
wanted to show you that. I just wanted to show you that. I forgot that I forgot to mention this.
That yay, they're impressive. It's a bit big for
Okay.
me, but that would probably fit me.
Yeah, no. I'm leaving room to grow.
Okay, so I think Alan is selling merchandise on his YouTube channel. So you can probably go and buy that t-shirt if you want it. Uh,
Mhm.
if you really want a good t-shirt, though, you want to buy a Suddenly Comics t-shirt. So anyway, I've got lost now. So let's share my screen and let's get on with it. Right.
Mhm.
And the first comic. Oh, it's a cracker to start with. We,
Yes.
we've had this a few times.
I, I I especially wanted this one because my copy of this book is a 1/8.
Okay. So Alan is going to find out what his 180 is worth, whether he's paid too much for it. He's usually made money on them because he bought his Silver Age stuff before. So
Pretty long ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And again, I have this and I bought it in the 80s, so it's well before Silver Age took off. Uh,
Yeah.
mine's a 3.5 or 4.0, I think. Uh,
Yeah. You probably paid less than I did.
I won't have paid more than $50 for it. I didn't buy anything.
Oh wow. Wow. Good, good, good.
Okay, so it probably cost me more to get it slammed than I paid for it in the first place.
Mm.
Okay, so as we know, this is the first appearance of Starro. Uh,
Hmm.
First time Aquaman appears on a cover,
And first time Martian Manhunter appears on the cover as well.
and I think there's something else about this, isn't there? Oh yes, it's the
Oh
first.
yes, Justice League.
So multiple reasons for joy. Okay. Uh, so a 1/8. It's not a bad looking 1/8, to be honest.
Actually, it's a very nice looking 1/8. I'm not sure what's wrong with it.
That must be wrong inside or something. Has it got
It's
some?
probably a split spine, I can see a little tape in that corner, so it's probably a split spine would be my guess.
Oh yeah,
Just
we got a bit.
and this is like the most ideal situation,
Yes,
right? Where you just have a split spine, looks awesome in the slab.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, it's got a bit of the back page missing. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
is that what it said?
No, it doesn't. But
Oh yeah.
it's like my Batman 100 that I bought, which looks fantastic. It,
Hmm.
it's because it's got a bit of sellotape covering up a slight cracks. Any reason it got downgraded, so it looks fantastic.
Okay.
So this is probably similar. So nice copy.
Very
Uh,
nice copy.
1260, which sounds quite healthy to me, Alan. How much did you pay for your?
Um, I think I paid 900.
Okay, all right.
So I think this is down actually
Okay, all right.
because I bought mine fairly long ago. I think this was up to like 1800 at one point.
Okay, it's bouncing off the bounce. This is a bounce off the floor.
Yeah. What was the top price?
Wait a minute, hang on. No, what did this just go for? 1260. Yeah, it is that. Right, yeah. So that's
Yeah.
it's there. So it's
And
bounced
what was the top? Yeah. Sorry. What was the top price?
to 8.
Wow. See, yeah, this book had gone crazy. Um, yeah. So this is way down from that. Is that, that's
That's a code.
that's
Yeah.
COVID pricing. Yeah. I mean, this is what I was talking about on my channel, where certain books in DC went crazy during COVID because of movies coming out.
Yeah.
The COVID whole hype about COVID was, it was all like hype books related to movies. People were like specking on what's going to be the next hot movie. And then the movie sucked and all the books went down. So yeah.
So we did get a Starro movie, and I thought it was one of the better movies. It was the Suicide Squad starring Starro.
Yeah, it's sort of funny that they put Starro in Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
like it not related to Justice League, right?
yeah,
I mean, Starro is actually a pretty cool character.
it is. Yeah,
You think he looks goofy and all, but those little like those controlling squids, you can
yeah.
there's some pretty cool
Red
stories that
squid
you can
on
have.
your face, mate. You're in trouble.
Yeah, it's quite cool that way.
Yeah,
But yeah, so this is sort of back down to the floor, I guess, for this book.
yeah. It's back to pre-COVID price.
Yeah. I mean, there's only 1,500 of these on the census, but
Yeah, there's only 1,500, which for a major key. I mean, Justice League get their rightful place alongside, I suppose, X-Men or
yeah.
yeah.
What would it be equivalent to?
Well, it's
Is
not.
it a Fantastic Four maybe or X-Men?
No. Well, is there a Marvel? Is there a Marvel equivalent of
I guess Avengers.
Avengers? Of course, it's the Avengers. Of course, it is.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be the. I was thinking, what would it be equivalent to? Avengers,
Yeah, of
obviously.
course, it's the
Yeah.
Avengers. Yeah, yeah.
So
Right.
yeah. So,
Okay. That was good. Now we have got Action Comics. Is this the first Supergirl?
yeah, first Supergirl. So Action Comics 252.
Oh, there we go.
And a nice looking 2.5.
Yeah.
Like really good colors on this one. I was like, oh, this is quite a nice copy for 2.5.
Got some Marvel chipping and some creases. I mean, I can see it's a 2.5.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's bottom left.
But yeah, but I mean the colors are quite sharp.
Yeah.
Like those are pretty deep blues and stuff. You can see that, it is what it is, right? It's like got all those like dings and stuff, right? But I would have actually graded this a little higher personally. I would have graded this like a 3.5. Just, I've seen 3.5s that look like this, or even 4.0s.
Yeah, I think this was tough. I think that was a tough grading. I agree with you. Um,
Yeah. I
right.
don't know what the back's like, but yeah.
Origin
So origin and first appearance of Supergirl. And
Azula L and Metallo. Oh, it's the first appearance.
yeah,
Oh,
it's his Metallo's first and last appearance. He dies in the issue. Um,
oh, so Supergirl does better than Metallo then. Right.
yes, yes.
Okay. So this sold for 1380.
Hmm.
Let's have a look at this one.
Seems
Oh,
like a good price.
that's not a bad price. It's not a record, but it's not far off.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like a good price. Because I know how much I paid for my copy. Um, so yeah,
Yeah, that's okay.
yeah, solid
Yeah.
price.
If you look here, you can clearly see there's a trend line going up through that. Um,
Yeah,
and I think this is because James Gunn is going to be using Supergirl quite a lot, isn't he?
yeah, and Supergirl is also one of those characters. Like, I think a lot of the stuff that people are buying right now are like these kind of good girl covers. Like, you think of all the stuff like that are like popular covers right now,
Yeah.
and it's like either Power Girl or Supergirl or some kind of girl cover.
Poison.
And I think that makes people want to have that first appearance, right?
Yeah, yeah. I would quite like this one. It's on my
Yeah, I always like Supergirl actually. I didn't like the TV series that much. I watched the first two seasons and then gave up on it. But how many on the census quickly?
um 1284, lowish.
Again, fairly low. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I do quite like these low numbers. It does protect you. Um,
Yeah.
the market
Yeah.
get flooded with these.
And this is a interesting grade because it's a 2.5.
Yeah,
So generally what happens is you get like sort of price compression at those lower grades where people just want to get that entry level book. And this is like a in that entry level book kind of thing. So people are a little bit willing to pay up just to get into the book.
yeah, yeah.
So I think that always also protects it a bit because it's got a bigger market. Um, so yeah. So I really like this book. I thought it presents really well. I bet this is one where the person might resubmit it. Like they crack it out and try to get that higher grade.
Possibly. possibly.
Mm.
Oh, here we go. I knew we were going to get one. There we are. There he is.
There it is. So you don't have to cry this week.
It's not the usual suspect. This is not one we've seen a huge amount of. This is annual number one, the first appearance of the Sinister Six. I actually prefer this
Okay.
to the two we usually see. Um,
Yeah. This is actually a very interesting book because it is an annual.
yeah,
Usually annuals like reprint stuff that came out during during the year, but this is like its own unique story. And it's also like kind of a first enemy team to go up against Spider-Man,
yeah,
which is interesting, and it's a pretty cool team. You could bring out his it basically highlights his rogues gallery,
yeah.
which is very cool. So yeah, this was actually the first big key that I bought off of Heritage
Oh, okay.
in terms of this kind of
Yeah,
book. Yeah. I was like super excited when I got it. I was like, oh,
yeah.
but yeah. And it spiked after I bought it, so I was quite happy. But then as you'll see in this one, I think the price is way down.
It's very Ditko, isn't it? Right. So
So
this
6.5,
144. That sounds like cheap to me, Alan.
that is cheap. I'm pretty sure based on how much I paid for my copy.
Oh goodness, look at this. It hasn't stopped
Yeah.
going down, down, down.
Yeah, this one's plummeting. The problem is,
It's
people.
it's
It,
actually a bit lower
it's
than the price.
well, yeah. So I think I paid. I think my copy I was is a 3.0, and I paid like 1,000 for
Okay,
it,
all right. Well, you've done
and
you.
that was before COVID.
Yeah,
So I, but this is like mine's a 3.0. This is a
yeah.
6.5.
Too far. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
So
right. Yes. Okay. So you probably lost a bit of money there, Alan. It's not like
exactly, yeah, would be my thought on it. So yeah, it's kind of sad, but it had gone crazy. It was like, I was like, oh, I did so well. It was good. It was a good pickup. But then,
what was its peak? 4750. Down
yeah,
to one. Oh goodness.
so it's down like 70%.
Yeah.
It's like that's crazy. Um, so yeah, again, this one had a lot of hype associated to it. People really expected that the Spider-Man No Way Home would have the Sinister Six, and it kind of did, but didn't. You know what I mean? They didn't really
Uh,
identify.
who didn't we have? We didn't have the Vulture, I don't think.
No, we did.
Did we?
I think he shows up. Doesn't he show up at the end or something?
Okay. We definitely had
I'm not sure.
we definitely had Electro. Uh,
Yeah, and then we even had the like
we
lizard.
definitely had Sandman.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the Sinister Five.
Anyway, is that stopped falling, Alan, or is it going to go further?
Um, like certain times, like certain books, once they get so cheap, people are like, oh, maybe a good time to buy. So I think this one is like we can see that it's actually gone down almost pre-COVID level, right?
Yeah, it's slightly below COVID, like pre-COVID price.
So I think this run might go down a bit more, and then it'll kind of have that big bounce off the
There aren't
floor.
as many of these as there are of the other two. No, there's quite a lot less. So this is a rarer comic than Amazing.
For DC, for Marvel, I mean, it's quite rare. It's about half what you would expect.
Yeah, exactly.
And, and I think that's because a lot of the time people didn't really collect annuals. Like annuals don't get the love that the regular issues do, right?
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, they don't get the love. I don't know why.
Is this like a 25-cent issue, right?
Um,
Yeah, it's 25 cents, right?
yeah,
So it's like double the price. So how many kids would have, you know, bought an annual versus, you know,
two regulars.
yeah.
Well, you get quite you still got the probably equivalent in pages.
Oh yeah, yeah. Usually they're double sized, right?
Yeah, so 72 instead of 36. So you're still getting good value for money.
Oh yeah. but the point is like whenever you have that higher price, generally the number of sales goes down, right? It's
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
what can a little kid afford?
Okay. Right. Moving on. We have got a journey into mystery. I don't think we've had this one before, Alan. Uh,
No, no.
this is Journey into Mystery number. Is this the second Thor?
This is the second Thor and first Jane Foster.
Oh, there she is. We have had this before. She's in. That's her in the nurse's uniform, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Thor captured by the executioner.
Mm. And it's a nice firing squad cover too.
Yes, yeah. It looks like Jack Kirby's being shot.
I
No, Jack Kirby. He's got Jack Kirby's hat, but he hasn't got. There's not the right color hair.
think isn't that Thor's alias? It almost looks like Thor's alias guy when he's like in his like
Right. Yeah, could be. Yeah, could be.
I'm not sure.
Oh,
Like
God,
people will tell me I'm totally wrong in the comments. So
down here. Right. Okay. It looks like quite a nice copy. What grade was this? 6.5. Yeah. And 1680. Let's have a look.
so
Oh,
this book also had gone a little bit crazy because of the Thor movie.
yeah. And it's heading down.
Yeah, it's heading down.
I think it'll go further.
Yeah. Um it has a bit more ways to drop to get back even onto the trend line.
Yeah.
If you look at it, it's probably got another it probably should be around $1,200 would be my guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was the pre-COVID price?
Well, it just
Like 1,000?
was 1.8. Oh, sorry, no, what am I talking about? 1.1.
Okay, so yeah, so this probably should be around 1,200, maybe 1,300 on a good day.
I think it's going to drop further. I'd hold on before
Yeah,
I was you guys.
yeah, still a little bit room to drop.
Yeah. Yeah.
This one you don't see as much. And that's maybe why it's held its value a bit better. Like, I mean, it's a slow decline. It's not like the
I mean,
like the falling off a cliff.
have Marvel killed off the Thor franchise by turning him into a laughing stock?
They turned him into a laughing stock. They also killed Jane Foster in theory, right? She dies in the last one, right? Spoiler. Um, and what is the census count on this book? It's like
1130, so it's quite low.
quite low, yeah. Um, I mean, Jane Foster is a major character, but
Dead.
yeah, that last Thor movie was just so bad. Um, like, uh, what
I
can
know
you say?
Rock was really good. And then
I
they
know.
what they were doing, I don't know.
So from what I was told, the director, Taika Waititi, is it right?
Uh,
In when he did Thor Ragnarok, he was sort of like restrained. Like there was other directors that were kind of controlling him that wouldn't allow him to go full Taika Waititi. Okay, so he was like controlled. So in that, it was kind of balanced between overly humorous and just a good, there was that balance, right? But
yeah.
once Thor Ragnarok did well, they said, okay, you got full carte blanche to do whatever you imagine. And then I think that's why it bumped. That's why it was just too jokey and it was like, oh goodness, terrible movie. But okay.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Sorry, Journey into Mystery. You've been affected by the bad movie.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. There's the big book of the week. It is X-Men 1. Now, this was falling last time we looked at this, Alan. Where do we think this is
Yes.
falling, or do we think it's stabilized?
I think it's stabilizing at that price. That seems like a reasonable price.
Yeah, it looks
I think it should be around that $10,000 mark personally, but
yeah,
at this grade. So this is X-Men 1, 1963. He has all the first appearances of pretty much most of the X-Men major characters.
and
You
Magneto.
know, Magneto's there. You got Professor X is there, but he's not on the cover. He first appears on the cover of number 2. But this, you got all your major characters.
Yeah.
So
Iceman is throwing some snowballs, which don't.
yeah, I know.
Um,
So, yeah. But yeah, just a cool book. Yeah, X-Men 1.
yeah,
So yeah. And this is a nice looking copy. It says 4 or 5, so it's a solid copy.
very solid 4 or 5 for nearly $10,000. It's flat.
Yeah.
So this is stabilized at around this price, hasn't it? It's stabilized around this £10,000 price. Uh,
Yep.
Still above pre-COVID, I think. Mm,
Yep.
no, it's
A little bit, maybe a little bit lower, actually.
that's pre-COVID price. So it's stabilized at the pre-COVID price, this one. It's not dropped below.
I mean, you look at that first, just it's so crazy. It's just like straight up. So it's good that it's stabilized. I think as I said, I always felt like in this grade it's kind of that, like I always go by $2,000 a point, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Like a little bit more than $2,000 a point, but yeah. Um and this is well within that. So I think this is probably fair. I think it's kind of found the floor.
yeah, yeah.
Um
Well, look
so
here,
yeah.
the last 4 sales have all been there or thereabouts. It's found its price point here.
Which is a good thing to see. When you get these major grade grail books, kind of finding that floor
Yeah,
in a way, it's kind of like that in itself can make people feel secure in the market.
yeah.
That that things are not gonna, the world's not ending. You don't have to burn all your books. You know,
There are a lot of these. There are a lot of these.
um,
6,257.
yeah.
So yeah,
Well, it is a number one, and it's after Fantastic Four, so people knew to pick up this book, right? So yeah, you'd expect a lot of them on the census. I mean, this is like a book I personally love. This was I think every 90s kid dreamed of owning an X-Men 1.
yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, just a great book. So yeah, I thought this was a good way to end it.
Very good. Um, that is the end of that. Alan's wearing his merchandise, which is excellent.
Yep,
Not actually see
yep.
when he's talking. Just
Can't see it.
we're
So
both.
it's not quite perfect. I gotta maybe angle my camera like some weird way to, or I have to like
Yeah.
stand up like that. Um, but
So
yeah, yeah.
we'll be back next week. But for now, that's your lot. See you again soon.